Do a quick audio test. The music's not playing though, so that's fun. Let's do a quick audio test. Start that back up. Do a quick audio test. Start that back up. Do a quick audio test. Okay, yeah, we have achieved singularity, so we're good there. On Twitch, we're good. I started a couple minutes early so I could make sure that everything was working. What about on YouTube? Yeah, we are perfect. Good every week. Perfect rise. So, let me just get chat pulled up here where I can get it. And we will get started again on our rubrics. Got the green screen's acting up. I moved some stuff around in the office and the green screen's not liking it. Used to be a chair behind the green screen to stop it from moving. And it is not enjoying the chair is not there. All right, we're good. We are good. All right, I got the chat up. I can see it. I'm going to retweet the tweet real quick, and then we're going to get started. Where is the tweet? Where is the tweet? This is always the fun part of the stream, right? This is what people come for. Set up where you see close-ups on my arms. Arm cam. Hand cam. Can I start an only hands? Okay, that's all sent out. Notifications sent out in Discord. We are ready to rock. Just a quick welcome to the show. Really hard to do when the keyboard is like full arm's length away, but there we go. Okay, now let's see. I went ahead and did a little bit of touch up just to get brushes wet and everything on this guy. And as you can tell, it still didn't do much of what I wanted it to do. We have a problem with the gold on his face. It just doesn't work. I'm going to give one more coat of touch up to him, and then we're going to stop. If it doesn't fix it, we're just going to leave it, because otherwise it's going to get malformed from the mini coats. We need to do a little bit of gold touch up on his arm too. And then I want to come back when we do the gray for the gun here and do a little bit of touch up on his gun with gray, because I tried an experiment with the white, and I don't think it looks as good as the bolt pistol on the Apprentice Sorcerer. I think that looks better. So we'll come back over with a little bit of gray. I have thinner brush this time, so hopefully we won't have the same problems that we had before. And let's get going. Also, we're not sponsored, but if you don't have something like this for your brushes, you probably should. They can sponsor if they want to, but it really helps keep your brushes in good shape. I have put these brushes through the ringer over the last few weeks, and they're doing pretty good. Got a tripod for the new camera, so now it has a better view. You can see my breathing machine, but it's fine. YouTube, please don't think that I'm trying to promote drugs or something. I don't know why you would, but just please don't. I dipped that way too deep in there. All right. We're going to do just a little bit more touch up on this guy. Just a bit. It's going to take a little bit longer. With this smaller, thinner brush, but I think it's going to pay off. Morally not a script agent. We're still working on the T-Sons. Using a smaller brush this time, so as hopefully to be able to fix some of our mistakes from last time. New camera's up there now where you can actually see, and I need to fix the focus on this camera real quick. You can see it from further away. I do have think he might have fell. I do have a brand new model that I'm excited to paint at some point on here. There's a limited edition model. Oh, that's not what we're trying to do. Okay, there we go. Maybe I'll grab him for the end of the stream. Man, I want this to... be able to see when I paint all the way over here, too. Still being focused. I like that it's not working with me at all. There we go. All right. Let's get some more Nazarick yellow on here. We're still working on our Thousand Sons. And again, with the smaller brush that I'm using now, it's going to take longer to paint all of these. But I think it's going to be worth it, because we won't make as many mistakes, hopefully. Unless I start getting too rash. Because of the way that I have to have like everything stacked in on top of each other here with lights, mics, I really need to get one of those magnifiers. Also, hello, by the way, Blood Alibi. Normally, I'm not so concerned about the colors that I use the tiny brushes, but where we're doing blue and yellow, and with how many mistakes I made on the other guy, I feel like it's going to be worth it to go ahead and just use this tiny brush. And maybe we just do like the edge details for it. Slow is fast and fast is slow. Yeah, that's very true. Very true. Signal is trash, but having you up at work? Awesome, thank you. Hope you can get your stuff figured out. Maybe we just do like the highlights with this little tiny brush, and then we come back for the big stuff with a bigger one. But I want to try and make the others look better than our gunner here turned out. Da-da-da. It's really tough too, because the little brush does not hold a lot of paint. So I have to replace the paint pretty quickly. But as you can see, we're not running gold all into the top of the blue there. That's already a great benefit. I need to get another tripod. And then I can put this camera looking down as well, so that then I can just have it like in the middle and not have to be... Oh boy, that's the light. That's very close to my face. Yeah, there we go. I think that'll work. And then I don't have to worry about that so much. But, you know, that'll come with time. Little by little, the setup gets better and better. By episode like 20, we're going to look really professional. If I'd only use this brush before, it really makes this pop. Flames and everything. Yeah, I got a limited edition model in. That's part of my Warhammer Plus subscription, called the Vindicare Assassin, and I'm really looking forward to building him put together. I already have plans for like a special game of Kill Team, where we give him specialty rules, and he's just a menace, shooting at anybody and everybody. That face already looks so much better than this face. Like, this guy gets so muddled up towards the crown. But this guy, he just, it's so much more visible. It's exactly what I was hoping for. Without getting so muddled in. It's important to use the right brushes for the job, you know? It can get really tempting to just blitz it and do a bunch of stuff all at once. But, and you can do that, right? You can absolutely do that, but you want it to look good. Probably put the time in. That's the whole point of this show, too, is to take your time, relax, hang out, build your models, paint your models while we're talking, you know. All right. That's the head pretty much done. I want to do a little bit of touch up with the blue, but we can do that when we go to paint our next boy. So we're going to do shoulder pads, I think, next. We may have to do 2 coats with this tiny brush, but like I said, I can always come back over with a bigger brush and get some of the more important detail work done. Because I still want them to look burnished. That's the word I'm looking for, like the others. I really like that burnished look, like they're these ancients, that their armor is kind of in disarray after all these years, which, I mean, it is, so. There we go. That shoulder pad didn't take too long at all. Get the underside of it real quick. Be very careful here. We got a little bit of gold to put on the edge of the arm there. Trim. There we go. All right, let's get the other shoulder pad. It's funny, too, because I always saw people say, I was terrified to paint my mom for a very long time. And I always saw people say, well, you know, once you get started, it gets a lot easier. You get a lot more confident. And your stuff starts looking better. I made a mistake there, but that's okay, because the shoulder is going to be... It's just going to bleed into the edge of the shoulder there. But I was always terrified to do it because I didn't want to make them look bad. But I always saw people say, you know, hey, the more you do it, the better you get. And honestly, it's true. It really, truly is. Go. Shoulder pad, looking good. Little tiny brush is doing great. Edge here of the chest piece. Eye on the chest. Edge down here. Chest piece. Do it again right there. Top-down camera can't really see me from there. I need to move over just a little bit, but I kind of liked having the zoom right there, but I can fix that. Gundam 79, 12 episodes in. Yeah! 0079 is so good. Rungren, my co-host for the podcast, we're watching, I say rewatching, it's rewatching for me. He's watching Gundam for the first time now, and it's really interesting to, every time we talk about Zeta, which is what we're on right now, he'll mention how much he enjoys First Gundam. It just makes me smile, because First Gundam's great. It's seminal, it does things that nothing else at the time was doing, while doing a lot of things that other stuff at the time was doing. And I love First Gundam. It's so good. Right, get that edge of the gold in there for the back of the gun. We just had a little bit of paint chip off there. That's interesting. A little bit of dry. Want to punch Kai in the face? Yeah. Kai is something. Kai Shiden is such a strange character. I think everybody has that desire of like, wow, what a coward. early on. And I don't blame anybody that does. Throw this in here. And then we're going to... That's a little bit more burnished than I wanted it to be. Shocked at how well... Yeah, that's one of the biggest things about First Gundam is how good the writing is. I think a lot of people are surprised when they first watch it because they assume with how old it is, you know, that it's going to just be another commercial. And there are moments of it that are very commercial-like, but it's actually got a really well-written story. Amuro and Char are both really well-written characters, but most of the back cast is really good too, you know? We're going to try and dilute that a little bit, but I kind of like the dichotomy of, hey, some of it looks a little brighter and some of it looks a lot darker, where it makes it feel like, you know, hey, this is a weapon that has seen a lot of combat. It's not as new as it used to be, but there are still parts of it that are somewhat pristine, you know? I like this a lot so far. And actually, I can show it up here, too. See it on this camera. They really do. And I think one of the strong points of First Gundam is that there's not really room for the characters to rest for a long time. Like, it is back to back to back. Everything's going wrong. And they don't really have time to deal with any of it. So they're having to just manage on the fly. And a lot of them have to mature really quickly. This is going so much better than the other boy. I'm going to be so happy with this guy when he's done. We can be a little bit more reckless with a backpack because there's not any blue on this guy's backpack, unlike the other guy's backpack. Yeah, it was definitely worth the time to come back with this little brush and do this. Feel really bad for Ray, but at the same time, I understand why Bright. Yeah, he's got to be, you know? He's got to be. Doesn't really have a choice. Oh, yeah, this guy's looking great. That gold in. Oh, yeah, Char. There's a reason that Char Aznable has, like, stood the test of time among characters. He's a fan favorite for so many people. And it's just, he's a great character. Deeply, deeply flawed. But that's one of the best things about him. All right, I see a pretty big spot we missed with the blue. We'll have to come back over that. Not full Sig Xeon yet, both sides, am I right? Yeah. Yeah, there's good and bad on both sides, you know? That's one of the things that sets Gundam apart from a lot of the shows at the time where there is no good and bad guys. There's good guys and bad guys on both sides. Whereas back in the day, you know, most shows aimed at kids at that time, it was, you know, here's the good guys and here's the bad guys, like He-Man and Skeletor, you know. Like, Zeon wants its independence, but they also done some really terrible things they probably shouldn't have done. The Earth Federation just is fighting for themselves and trying to protect themselves, but also, like, they built weapons on a colony that was supposed to be neutral. Interesting television. I love He-Man, by the way. That wasn't a shot at He-Man. I absolutely adore He-Man. Skeletor is one of my favorite villains of all time. Get that. Yeah, you just bathed in a little bit of gold there. Oh, more gold than I wanted to do. Paper towel to take off the excess. Can't get it all because it's blue and yellow. It's going to make green, but we can get a little bit of it. Make it pop. All right, so that's the backpack. And again, I think this guy is looking way better. So now let's do the legs, and then I think we're going to focus on the gun for a little bit. We're going to come back with some pretty serious gray on the gun. Spot right there. Here. We do still have a little bit of touch-up to do in places, but not that bad. It's kind of funny because out of the two of us, my girlfriend's definitely the painter. And I couldn't find these tiny brushes anywhere. I knew we had them. They were in her paint supplies. She hasn't had a lot of time to paint lately. So I nicked them. Haven't told her yet that I nicked them. We'll see how that goes. I'm probably going to be in trouble later. But, you know, I'll take care of them. I'm not going to mess them up. I'm being careful. White base has been nothing but, yeah. Hail Mary relying on hormone. Yeah, very true. Relying on Amuro. What can you do when you need Amuro Ray? Relying on Amuro and the Gundam. Go. I like too how if not for the Gundam, like Char would have destroyed Amuro. But it brings them just about to equal, not quite equal, but just about equal footing. It's just a nice touch to me. You can't see at all what I'm doing because I had that too close to my face. We're getting some good leg action here. Extreme's gonna be, hey guys, had to buy a new set. Yeah. My GM got mad at me. It's possible. I don't think she will though. She's pretty reasonable about stuff like that. Now, if I mess the brush up, if I don't take care of it afterwards, then she's going to be upset. Remember, kids, brush aftercare is very important to the process. Got a little bit of gold on the edge of the skirting there, but that's okay, because we're actually going to be bringing gold to the edge of the skirting in a little bit. Couple white spots that I need to bring the blue back in for. Better to ask forgiveness than permission. Yeah. Hopefully she doesn't watch this. Alright. Almost done with this leg. I need to read up on more Thousand Sons lore because I don't know anything more than what I talked about last week, or last time we streamed this painting. And I feel kind of bad about that because I talked about Blood Angels lore the entire time, and the book I'm reading right now is still on Blood Angels. So, you know, that's where my passion is right now. That's a little more goop than I wanted it to. There we go. Okay, I see quite a few touch-up spots with blue. Not really that many with gold. So I think we're going to go ahead and start on the skirting right here. Then we'll do the weapon. And then we'll go ahead and do the blue because we're going to start on the next guy. Oh, we still got to do the white. I forgot about the white. But we do have quite a bit of blue touch-up to do. Very lightly trail this down edge of the skirting. A little bit too much there. I don't think it's going to come off. Nope. I'll have to hope we can cover it up with the white, but it's probably not going to happen. All right. Now the gun. Now, the gun is where we get to experiment a little bit, because we get to choose how much gold we want on it here. And I'm thinking this entire bottom part here is going to be gold, and then I want to do something that I think is going to look really cool, but I don't know how cool it's going to look, so we're going to see. I want to take each of the bands and paint them gold, but paint the interstitiary parts gray, the Silicone Gray. I think that's going to make the gun really pop. And this is one of our big centerpiece models for this kill team, right? So we want it to pop as much as possible. What's your favorite mobile suit so far? 12 episodes in. You digging the Gundam? You Zaku guy? This is going to be very difficult to do. Okay. Each band. Nope! I bumped the camera with my leg when I was coughing. Alright. Each band. Here we go. Might be quiet during this section because I really got to focus. Goes against all of my instincts to be quiet while streaming. Not perfect, but pretty close. Ooh, that does look really good, I think. Alright, we're going to get the... Yeah, I think we're done with the gold for this guy. Let's see a couple little spots real quick. I just bumped that cable again. I got to somehow get the chest in gold without messing up too much on the model that we've already done. Bottom of the chest is not gold yet. Couple little spots right here. Underside of the gun. I know it's hard to see what I'm doing right now, but it's mostly just touch-up work. Okay. Always find more spots you didn't get, right? Okay. Wash the yellow off this brush. Keep bumping it. Put that back on top of my knee. Yep. difference really is night and day so far in my mind between these two models. And it was a very important lesson to learn. For anybody who doesn't know, I'm using regular tissue paper. In this case, kitchen, what's it called? Paper towel, I guess? To get the yellow off my marker off my brush. I've been having a hard time with words lately. All right. So now we're going to go in with the Silicone Gray. And we still got to get the white, and we need to do some touch-up blue, but we'll start on the next Marine when we start on the blue. We're going to just grab the rest of this in gray. The gray on top of the white should look really nice. Good news is, when we experimented with the other guy for the white, I knew at that time that if we didn't like it, we could just go back over it with the gray, which is exactly what we're going to do. I really do think this is just going to make this model's gun pop so much more than it would otherwise. Basically, we operate off the 3-color theory, right? If you really want your model to pop, you need at least 3 colors. But you can't just slap 3 colors on there and call it done, right? You got to put them in the right spots. Otherwise, it doesn't look right. So by banding this Gatling gold, we make this gray really pop. We're actually going to have 4 colors on this guy because we're also going to put some white on him. But and then I'm purposely leaving the gray a little bit wet so that it wells inside there and fills up all of those slots for the gun. Makes it a little bit darker, makes it pop a little bit more. Listen to me talking like I'm a professional. All right, let's get the tip of the barrel. Go. We want to make it a little bit darker. And then we're going to give the gold just a slight run with the gray there. Age it up a little bit. Not much, but it'll help fill in the white spots. Yeah, that really pops. Look at that. That is great. I love the way that looks. That is exactly what I was hoping for. Let me bring it to this camera so you get a better look on it. Thank you. Custom bases? Not yet. That's another step I want to do as part of this process is learn to base. It's a thing that I've not practiced at all yet, but let's touch up his gun real quick before we move on. A little bit too much gray there, I think. We want to make the gold look a little worn. But again, this guy's in pretty bad shape anyway, so. Feel some of that. Unironically, that gray really did help this gun quite a bit. That white didn't work at all, really. But getting the edge of that gray in there made the gold stand out a little bit more with the gray in the middle of it. Yeah, unfortunately, this guy was our learning rubric, even though he's not the one we started with. It really should have been the aspiring sorcerer that was our learning rubric, but we know now. And from a distance, he doesn't look too bad. No, from a distance, he looks okay. He just doesn't look anywhere near as good as this guy. All right, so next up is the white. Yeah, I want to make like specific bases for each set. My Blood Angels, my custom chapter of Blood Angels, I have to decide what type of world their home world is going to be, because I have to make that up. And then I'll make a base design for all of them, and they'll all have that design. And then my Thousand Sons, I think I want to go with like sand. My Custodes, I don't know yet. I don't know what I'm going to do for Custodes. And then each of my... It might be easier to just do kill teams with the new Into the Dark basing stuff. And just put them all on Space Hulks. I don't know. We got a lot of kill teams in the kitchen. So, I don't know. We'll see. But, I'm thinking for my Tyranids, I'm thinking like a snow. I think a snow look might be nice. I've seen a lot of people do it, so it's not necessarily like unique. But... Also, as Nightbot says, yes, thank you for supporting us. Very kind of you. We appreciate it greatly. Alright. That'll dry and look really nice with that white in there. May not really be able to see that white, but it's on the sash. And when it dries, it's going to look really nice. Like this one does. Now we're going to come back with the blue, do a little bit of touch up. Color blend is wild, yeah. I'm really digging it. I'm really digging it. I wish this camera was a little bit higher quality because it kind of messes with the colors. But I really like how they're looking. There's people that make a lot better versions, and there's a variant that has, like, up here at the top crest, it has blue, then yellow, then blue, then yellow. But I'm not that good. If I tried to do that, I definitely would mess these up. So we're not going to do that. Get the touch-up blue here. No? Not yet. That's very true. That's very true. Good point. We'll get to the point where we'll make some new Thousand Sons at some point here on the channel. We might, after we get done with the Thousand Sons, too. Oh, I missed some gold right there, too. Okay. We'll catch that up the next time that we... Forgot it on the back. That's just the bottom skirting. No gold, no white. When we come back for the next Marine, getting the white on them and the gold, we'll do that then. But I'm thinking after we finish the Thousand Sons, instead of moving to another kill team, we might do some fun stuff and try to get some terrain painted. There's plenty of models to go, and I might even do like a poll on YouTube and Twitter and see which kill teams people want us to paint next. But I'm thinking we might take a break and do some terrain. Not because I'm not enjoying this, just because the terrain's got to get painted too, you know? It will. And it gives us a chance to get a lot more crazy with the colors, because most of the terrain that we have is my girlfriend's orc terrain. And she has given me permission to paint it however I want. So we get to go crazy with orc terrain. Alright, this boy is currently done. We're going to come back and do the back of the skirting, but there is a Thousand Sons Heavy Gunner. I can't get over how good that gun looks. I just cannot get over it. That might be, like, there's a lot of stuff I've painted at this point, and I think this guy is still the one that I like most. I think I really like him, but that gun is real nice. So we're gonna hold on to that as a point of pride. We're 39 minutes in. We can go and start another one. All right, Chad, I'm gonna let you choose. We got this boy. You got a PS5 wheel? Very nice. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. We have this guy with the flame behind him, the flame of Zeech. We have, I mean, there's a bunch more, but we have this guy who's currently reloading in a fun action pose. Trying to pick another guy that's not just like the same. Because unsurprisingly, since most of these guys are just dust and armor. But they have different crests. And then we have like regular Marine guys. So with different crests. Reload looks cool. He's got your vote. Okay. Give Will the chance to vote if he wants. Anybody else that's lurking the chance to vote, and then we'll choose. Yeah, just a lot of the same guys here. So they're gonna be like 2 weeks where we're just painting the same guys, but hopefully by that point I'll have gotten a lot faster with it. On the plus side, we can go ahead and clean the dust off. So for anybody who doesn't know, your models will collect dust as long as they don't have paint to rebuff the dust. And to give you an example of that, these guys have been on my desk for a long time now because they're some of my favorite work that I've done. I love them so much. And as you can tell, there's not a lot of dust on them, even though my desk gets really dusty. I'm sure you can see it in some of these shots. It's really interesting the way this works, but the paint turns dust. But if you don't have the paint, reload gets your vote too? Okay, reload it is then. If you don't have paint on them, if they're just primed, then they gather dust. Look at how much different that is compared to that. Really interesting to me that the paint turns the dust away. And to get the dust off, you just use a brush, a dry brush, not a wet brush. You're really going to mess it up if you use a wet brush. Reload guy it is then. We actually don't have to paint all of these guys here on the channel because there's not enough room in a kill team for all of them. So what we might do is paint a bunch of them and then leave like 2 or 3 unpainted, and then I'll just paint them on my own time. That way we can move to more projects in case people are getting tired of Thousand Sons. But eventually I'm going to paint them all just because I don't like having unpainted minis. I don't like gray plastic. I don't mind playing with gray plastic, especially when I'm like really excited to play something. But there's so many minis to paint. I'm going to have to do some off-stream painting, I'm afraid. All right, we already have the blue out, so we might as well do the blue. That's what we did on the last guy, too. Go ahead and get that going. I'm going to be very careful not to get it on the gold here. I got a little bit of blue on the Tzeentch up there. So I keep mentioning Tzeentch. For anybody who doesn't know, Tzeentch is the Chaos God of Change, contracts, and stuff like that. An absolute jerk. And for anybody who doesn't know what a Chaos God is, well, about that. Your brother came back from the U.S. with your PS5? Awesome. That's very cool, man. Glad to hear it. The Chaos Gods are created by emotion in the warp. So in the 40k universe, there's this thing called the Immaterium, which is the warp. And it's where emotion gets form and becomes physical. Or like close to physical in the warp, but they can become physical outside the warp too with time. Not a good thing, right? Very bad thing. And eventually enough worshipping of these chaos gods will make them like super strong. So don't want that. That's a bad thing. However, if you'll remember from the last time I talked lore about our good boy Magnus that made a mistake and got tricked into joining Tzeentch, all of his people that then became Dust Marines, Rubric Marines, were worshipping Tzeentch at that point, basically. and making him a lot stronger. He's also got a bunch of cultists, but his whole motif is like magic and birds, because he's a giant bird god thing. He's kind of cool, but he's also kind of a scumbag. I just remembered we had this handle that I could be using that would make this a lot easier. But yeah, he's an interesting guy, that Tzeentch. He's the one that plays the most tricks and gets into the most trouble. But he also kind of lets Magnus do whatever he wants. He just owns his soul. Yeah, that was the monkey paw guy. For sure. For sure. That's Tzeentch. Tzeentch plays lots of tricks because he doesn't really care about people at all. Hey, you want your people to live forever? Now they're made of dust. Haha. Hey, you want to be able to get the magic power to be able to survive this attack by your brother? Well, your soul's mine now. Haha. Kind of a scumbag. But, you know. He's got a lot of really cool demons, though. Like, a lot of really cool bird demons. I'm a guy that likes birds, so, you know. He's also got, like, one of the best models for the Chaos Demon Army right now, which is the Flamer. The Exalted Flamer of Tzeentch puts out so much damage. It's very, very strong. Some people are calling for it to be nerfed, but I don't think Chaos Demons are that strong right now that they need a nerf for that one unit. It's just, that unit's really strong. You gotta kill it quick. Tzeentch, too, he's got a lot of, like, really cool magic stuff. His big demon unit for the tabletop is called the Lord of Change. And it's this giant bird demon that can cast a lot of spells. Got these little bird demons called Zangors. Cultists of Tzeentch will eventually become Zangors. Or die. You know, there's that option, too. But Tzeentch is, I think, one of the more interesting Chaos Gods, even though I think I like him second to last. I like Slaanesh the least. That's the god of lust and, like, beauty, I guess. Slaanesh is okay. Slaanesh's people are really cool. It's just Slaanesh itself is, I don't think is as cool. Slaanesh is, it's all about, like, inhibitions unleashed. And so, one of the coolest units that Slaanesh has are these things called Noise Marines, which are, like, these rocker Marines that have, like, cannons and stuff. It's very cool. Death isn't the worst thing. No, death is, again. I did it again. No. That time I punched it. Death is preferable unless you get eaten by one of the Chaos Gods. If your soul gets taken by one of them, then death is no longer preferable. So there's like 4 of them, right? It's Tzeentch, Nurgle, Slaanesh, and Khorne. Khorne is probably the nicest one out of them all, and he's a psychopath. He just wants to kill everybody. His chant is blood for the blood god, skulls for the skull throne. You know. But he's not going to do any, like, crazy stuff with your soul. He's just going to kill you. And in that way, that's probably the nicest one to get stuck with. Then you have Nurgle. Grandpappy Nurgle. That is all about disease and stagnation. If he gets a hold of you, he's probably going to poison you, and you're going to slowly die. A bunch of his Marines got, like, turned into living disease. Then he's got stuff called Poxwalkers. So in that regard, I guess Tzeentch is not too bad. You just are no longer a person. You're just living dust. Or a bird. There are worse fates. Like if you get grabbed by Slanesh. Yeah, like it's crazy when you think about it, right? If you'd ask me, hey, come up with some evil chaos gods, I'd be like, all right, you got the guy that's about magic. You got the guy that's about death. You got the guy that's about learning more stuff. Maybe he's the magic guy too. I don't know. And you got the guy that just wants to rule everything. There you go. But instead, you have these really interesting... And they're not the only gods either, because they also have, like, the orcs have gods called Gork and Mork. And then the Eldar have gods that are all, like, individual and got ousted by the Chaos gods. So their gods are, like, on the run. Including the Laughing God, Tiggerok, the Avatar of Cain, which is what remains of Cain after he got bodied by Khorne. It's a really cool world. I was going to say, I think I know what music's about to start playing. I've gotten used to this playlist over the course of the last couple weeks. I also have, like, Yanid, I think, is a Eldar god, too. That's the god of death. Action within man that seems to... Yeah, the Deathcore Krieg, man. The whole idea of, like, hey, our world betrayed the Emperor, and we don't want to be remembered that way, so we bombed our own world and proved that we follow the Emperor. Like, oh. Okay. Also, we're gonna go make sure we win battles for the Emperor. We're gonna put ourselves at risk if need be. Doesn't matter if we die, so long as the Emperor wins. They still, like, retreat and stuff if they have to, but, you know. If they can win just by dying, then they're gonna win. Death no longer matters. The Deathcore Krieg are very cool. I have a veteran guardsman team that is basically Kriegsmen, and I'm really excited to paint them. They're very good on Kill Team Tabletop. They have an answer for just about everything. It's funny, too, because in my first game of Kill Team that I played against my girlfriend's Orc Commandos, I used the veteran guardsman, and my sergeant was on the field, and she one-shot him. She got incredibly lucky with her rolls, and she one-shot him. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, there goes all my orders. No, the Kriegsmen are very cool. I like all the Imperial Guard regiments, I think. Cadians, the Catachans, the Karskins. They're all pretty cool. I actually wanted some of this to be gold, but yeah, that's XCOM, baby. Oh, speaking of XCOM, the XCOM playthrough on the channel with Gundam characters is not going well. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but I made a stupid mistake recently because I didn't double check that a character wasn't going to cross a concealed line, and paid for it pretty heavily. Yeah, I'm doing an XCOM playthrough with Gundam characters on the channel. I'm actually really happy. I didn't get them all perfect, but I worked pretty hard on some of them, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. But after I finish that playthrough, I'm going to do another one with Gundam characters in a game called Wilder Myth. That is also, like, procedurally generated and lets cool story stuff happen. Just because I really like that idea. I think it's fun, you know? And I also just really like Gundam. It's one of my big favorites. I don't doubt it, man. Iron Man's really just like builds you up to it. I've always quit my Iron Mans before this one, so I'm really excited for the fact that now I have to live with my decisions, but it means that now I have to live with my decisions. So when I make a mistake, it really hurts. Also, like, I really like all those characters, so when I lose one, it's like, oh, man! But, you know, I don't want to spoil too much for people. We'll have to watch the playthrough themselves and see how it turns out. So why would I lose anybody? No, it's a really fun game, and I'm really excited to be able to bring Gundam characters to it like that. I wish there were more mods that let you have like modded Gundam characters in there. And I didn't realize until too late that I should be playing voice clips. But like I only have voice clips for Char for most of it so far, but I'll be adding voice clips for other characters as we go. Like, why not? That's part of the fun. Yeah, it's always, man, XCOM moments are moments that you can't get in any other game, you know? There are 2 XCOM-like 40K games that they're okay. They're good games, but they don't quite capture that feeling of XCOM. And one of them is like Chaos Gate Demon Hunters, where you play as the Grey Knights, hunting down demons. And one of the things is that shots can't miss. And it's like, okay, this makes it a much better game, right? It makes it a way more fun game. But it makes it way less XCOM in a way that I kind of didn't like. Graham, please. I need to add Graham. That's the next character. I need to add Graham, and for reasons, I need to grab another character that I won't mention. But I just recently added Lock-On Stratus from 00. That's the best thing about doing that XCOM playthrough, too, is that I can add characters as I go. So, like, right now, my roster's pretty full. But I'm going to have to add some more characters due to some character death. So I can just keep adding them in, you know? Yeah, basically a 99% chance to miss. Very true. That's XCOM, baby. I also had a character get captured recently. And the best part is I can say this and you won't know when it's going to be in the playthrough because you don't know how many episodes I've already recorded. But I really want to get that character back because I need them. XCOM 2. I went ahead and I don't like the XCOM 2 Chosen DLC. Targeted and firing. That's right. I don't like that DLC. But I've never beaten that DLC. So I figured just for the added difficulty of, you know, the playthrough, we'll go ahead and make it even harder and play it on XCOM 2 Chosen. And I don't like it because I think that the assassins are a little too much with everything else going on. But, you know, hey, maybe I'll change my mind. I also figured it makes it more fun for the show where the assassins show up and are an extra challenge. And you can get really good stuff when you kill them. It's just really hard to kill them. Alright. That's the blue for this guy. We're going to go ahead and do a little bit of the gold, I think. We could probably stop right there for blue, but I think we're going to do a little bit of the gold. Wash this brush good. I prefer XCOM 1 myself to XCOM 2, but oh no. But XCOM 2 has some really cool stuff added to it. I think it's the timer on XCOM 2. The timer is just really oppressive, where there's always too many things to do for you to be able to do them all with the timer. And you have to choose, and it's a good, interesting gameplay because of it. I just don't like having to choose. Have a good one, man. Hope you do check it out and hope you like it. We're going to get this gold right here. Should this pop some more? Not easy to do. 20 to 30 million per mission now? Wow. Yeah, you can pretty much use whatever suit you want now, huh? We got a little bit too much blue on that side of the face, but the gun's going to cover it for the most part. It's not too bad. It also gives him kind of like a Two-Face vibe, which I kind of like. Go ahead and layer a little bit more gold on there. That Nasdrig yellow. Get a little bit more of that burnished look. All right, let's get the rest of the crest here. It's ad time again. It's already that time, huh? Just want to get more of the yellow. I want to be able to say we finished the main part of 2 Marines tonight. I think that's the end of... No, it's not quite the end of the playlist. Crest is looking pretty good, though, I think. Really need to blow my nose. We should probably stop soon. Hold on the gun real quick. I know I'm pushing time. I'm having fun. A little bit of gold on all this, and then we'll come back over it with the gray, and it's going to make it look really good, I think. Part of the arm with a little bit of gold. Here. Chest eye. That's going to be way more burnished than I meant for it to be, but that's okay. All right, 500 range melee parts too. Wow, that's a lot. Very rare. Yeah, it makes sense. I would think so. Well, they do a lot of damage, though. Not being quite as careful as I probably should be. But thanks to the smaller brush, I can be a little bit more reckless. Not worrying about missing too much. I have to blow my nose so bad. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, this guy's looking pretty good. Not perfect, of course. There's a lot of spots that could have been a little bit more careful on, I think. But we're learning. We're learning the big spots. The helmet's the big one for me. Like, I don't think that side of the face looks very good. But again, you're not going to see that side of the face very often. At all because of the gun. It is really starting to pop, though. Other part of this up here. We're actually not that far off from being done with this guy. Would be nice to get at least 2 done tonight. 40% sub-weapon use up parts are higher. Wow. That's a pretty big boost. Yeah. Upper torso done. Oh, missed a spot back here. Back of the backpack. I think maybe we go ahead and finish him, right? I mean, really close to being done. His face doesn't look quite as good as the other one's face. I think there's a little bit too much green in there. But you know, more special parts from EX3? Yeah, makes sense. I would think so. I gotta go back and play more of it when I have time. I can talk about the DLC on the podcast. When I have time always feels like never. Probably about to pick up a part-time job too. And that's gonna cut into time a little bit as well, but you know, it is what it is. almost have this guy done. We're actually way closer than I thought we'd be. Oh, it's so much more than I wanted to put there. No. Game won't give you 500 setups. That is a pain. For sure. Luck of the drop, right? Bottom of that. Finish him up here. No. Now I'm trying to rush. Thanks. Just have to hope that gets covered up enough. Hurry up and wait. Oh, we missed a big spot of blue there. We'll have to get that. Just feel to that. Chips up that. Let's grab bottom here. Flames. Just a nice trail down the side. Nothing too fancy, just nice trail down the side. Go. Alright. So let's do some white, then some gray, and then we'll finish him off with just a touch of blue, and then this boy will be done too. Gun cannon did 23k on the special. Oh. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Dog needs to go to the bathroom too. He's doing this thing lately where he'll just like bump his head against the door to let me know. I guess it's because I have the door closed most of the time. That's how he lets me know now, is just to bump his head against the door. Like, hey, I know you're busy, but I gotta go. Let me go. If I knew he wouldn't go mess with stuff, I'd get him a doggy door, but everything just dies to your attack. Yeah, I bet. Put a little bit of that white in there, but we're gonna go back over it with the gray. Oh, the backside. I almost forgot the backside. We need to get the backside of this guy. Quick. Go. Just real quick. Go. Pop just a little bit more. Go. I'm almost done. Hold on. He normally waits for like 2 hours on Tuesdays too, so I don't get why he's like this tonight. Maybe he's got to poop. Dogs will be dogs, man. Just let me get the gun done and fix his arm, and then I'll take you out. You also got no defense or HP. That'll do it. We're just going to touch up the gun here with some gray. Dilute some of that gold. Make it look a bit older. Funny too, because I know you can't hear it. It's actually like really loud because he's a big dog. Then all that white with the gray. So it stands out a little more. Pop. That was too much gray. That was way too much gray. But that gives it a nice smear effect. Kind of like that, actually. All right. Just the touch-up blue, and we'll call him good. Level 100, just over 2100 HP. That's really not as much as, like, it sounds. When at level 30, I think I had, like, 600 HP. You know what I mean? There's probably some really good HP parts, though. Let's get that touch-up blue. And then we're gonna call it for tonight. Did I see the back of the arm? That's what I saw before. Didn't have any blue on it. I'm coming. Hold on, boy. You like 3,000 at least? Yeah, that makes sense. All right. We're going to call him done. Our next rubric. There we go. Tonight we got a lot done. We finished up this guy, who I still think is the worst one of the bunch. We got this guy and his awesome looking gun. And we got this guy done, the reloader. I feel pretty good about that. Next week we'll come back and work on the Gundam Unicorn. When we get to that, we'll do another 2 of these guys probably. And we'll see how we go from there. But I'm also really excited to build and paint the Vindicare Assassin at some point. And then, you know, we got more stuff planned. So I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. So let me know in the comment section down below what kind of minis you'd like to see us paint next. Thanks again, everybody, for hanging out. And until next time, I've been Trey. This has been the Full Spectrum. Remember to always enjoy the full spectrum that painting has to offer.